can talk about coming together of a masculine air sign with a Queen of Pentacles. That's a feminine earth sign. But to me, this is just talking about that meeting in the middle here of that path before, and really coming into alignment with that. With these new ideas. And here's our masculine energy, right? Charging forward, very confidently. He communicates, charging forward, to make these ideas happen. And the King of Swords is very diplomatic, but it's speaking to that alignment of nurturing, very nurturing those new ideas, and the masculine coming into alignment with these ideas, thought, communication, coming into alignment, meeting in the middle, 2 cups. So our masculine and feminine aligning in the middle. So that's very interesting energy. As far as energies, we have a lot of Virgo right now, which the moon is in Virgo, and I did see the moon before. Interesting. Yeah. There's a lot of walking away energy with this hermit, this Virgo. I don't know why my camera kept recording. Apparently I can record long videos now. I don't know why. This is kind of weirding me out, but I guess it's allowing me to for the reading or something. It's weird. It's never let me do this before. Yeah, a lot of that letting go. There's that 4 of Pentacles energy, walking away from those old ways of being after searching within, discovery, that discovery energy in the heart space, finding new perceptions, letting go of that, letting go of lack, progression energy, the 4 to the 5, and again, it's that impasse energy, right? And then we have youthful, new ideas and communication, right? That is the Page of Cups. It's very youthful. It's communications, ideas, and that Aries energy, that fire coming out, unifying with our heart, our soul, our heart. Cups is emotion, right? Even our subconscious, right, with that thought and heart energy. Really coming into alignment and action. Fire's action, right? So very good. All right, so let's look at what the Emperor, our masculine energy, is up to right now. How are they feeling with everything? Maybe getting antsy because, they're really having to take a back seat to this process. And I mean, it's in Aries. It wants to go, right? It wants to go. So let's look at masculine. Whoa, okay. Trickery. In a very tangible sense of the word, this can talk about, I love this. This is my Emperor card on this in this deck. There's that workaholic underneath that. So looking to feminine energy, really working on fostering this growth and renewal. That's my Empress card in this deck. We have trickery and impartiality on the bottom. So much like the feminine, how before the feminine was focused a lot on, there was like victim, and again, this happens within all of us, but trickery, right? How do people get made a victim? Trickery, impartiality, there was that rejection. So this is playing out in a tangible sense of the masculine energy really causing a victim state within our feminine by rejecting prior ideas from the feminine and acting in the masculine self-interest, right? But, tricking, and it can, of course, it can play out, and there's a lot of this in tarot, so my apologies, because, but I'm just the messenger. This is just what's coming out. We have trickery matching victim, and this is coming out on the masculine as opposed to the feminine. So trickery of our own feminine aspect, not nurturing, kind of ignoring our own nurturance, right? tricking ourselves, making ourselves a victim. Of course, this can play out with like literal masculine and feminine energies as tricking the feminine and her becoming a victim, and then impartiality, and that was met and matched, both colors too, same colors by the way, on the feminine's end as rejection. So trickery, sabotage, impartiality leading to rejection and victimization. That's the underlying energy, and that both is meeting up in that heart space, right? This underlying energy here, which was manifesting as a block, right? So whether we're just doing that to ourselves, or that's and we're blocking ourselves, or that's manifesting as our relationships with other people, right? Grief and confusion, that's what that led to. That's the impasse, right? Grief, with that rejection energy, that's a loss energy, very similar to rejection. Confusion, that's what happens when we, he's a victim to confusion there, right? So again, and same colors, these do speak to chakras. I haven't actually read in the book which ones are supposed to be which, because gray, I mean, that's not any of the chakras, but anyways, getting sidetracked. And we love it. Meeting up in self-worth and wisdom, right? So again, mirroring the masculine, really mirroring the feminine here in that alignment, coming into alignment. Beautiful. And this is manifesting, remember how the feminine was coming across as perception and wisdom, right? So the feminine is really seeing a different perspective on this victim state, while the masculine is attaining wisdom about trickery, right? And how that's playing into this state of confusion, right? And then self-worth. I'm trying to remember. Forgiveness, right? Forgiveness. So this is the masculine is really mirroring the feminine in this regard as well, because again, I was talking about how this is the card of self-worth. Almost cannot get more self-worth than that, other than the Empress. So I'm surprised that we haven't had the Empress come out with this. We'll see if it comes out under that Hermit energy. But this to me is also just talking about really nurturing those ideas, how she's coming across with her own stability, right? So the masculine also is mirroring in that sense of where the Queen of Pentacles is very independent, overcoming that victim state. The masculine is mirroring in the sense that they are either receiving forgiveness, or they're forgiving themselves for trickery or rejection, or making a victim even of nurturing, the feminine energy within themselves, not allowing themselves to nurture and grow into that self-worth, right? So really, again, coming into alignment here, the Emperor kind of meeting the feminine in this state, either again playing out in your interpersonal relationships, or all happening within yourself, receiving forgiveness from yourself for tricking yourself, rejecting your opportunities that, it's like he's like, do I hop on that chair, right? Am I worthy of that royal road there, right? Really meeting the feminine there, and this could be by way of forgiveness for, that trickery and rejection. But this is coming out in the masculine's energy here with that wisdom, right? About past ways. Again, could be all happening within us. We're rejecting opportunities that will lead to that. We're not afraid to get, tricking ourselves, right? That trickster energy. So let's look at the Emperor, the masculine energy. Very strong in that Aries energy. The Emperor, please. Masculine cape. That kept showing. So that's that same energy of, do I get on that chair? See how he's like, right? I do get Taurus off that every time. But yeah, that's more of that um, evaluating whether you're going to actually hop on that chair there and seize your self-worth there. What's under that? Knight of Swords, yeah, charging forward. Yeah, and here's that really persevering. To me, this is just screaming because we had that Page of Coins on this side, fostering those new ideas, the feminine. And then remember how I said that the masculine's just itching to step into that energy of actually acting on these ideas that our feminines are nurturing within us, right? New perspectives, new ideas, new. Beautiful. That's a lot that flipped out here. I'm not going to take these. It's too confusing. There was a Knight of Swords and an Ace of Swords underneath that, and that to me that's Gemini energy and that same Ace of Swords. So coming into alignment with our clarity and our ideas, our thoughts, and then acting on them or communicating them to others when that masculine kind of gets the go-ahead from Venus to charge forward there. Clarify the Emperor. Masculine energy, yep. Clarity on what to move forward with. Persevering. And again, remember how I said the sun, that's Leo season. And I was saying that there's not many more cards that are more abundant than the Empress that are just energy specific. And I actually referenced the sun. So that's Leo season. And here we have this Emperor coming through as this King of Swords with these ideas, right? Moving forward. We kind of, we get the go-ahead to act on those ideas. And I love that this is so consistent because we have our masculine energies representing as the King of Swords, which is our thoughts, our communications, our clarity. See how he's bringing balance. Libra here, but not necessarily. And we have our feminines matching in that nurturing state, nurturing those ideas, and for the masculine to communicate it. So in terms of tangible collaboration, this is new can be new cycles, or culminations of cycles, and this is collaborative energy. So that's very beautiful. I did see the star just now, so you could have an Aquarius in your chart, or could be dealing with an Aquarius. Yeah, very nice. Use this deck. I don't know if I'll get much more for the masculine than that. It's pretty cut and dry. Oh, I was just going to say with this Queen of Pentacles, nurturing her self-worth here, doing that kind of work, nurturing self-worth there. It's really bringing into alignment, and it can be very tangibly masculine moving forward to communicate to the feminine there, because he's this Emperor, the Emperor, and make no mistake, this is the Empress to the Emperor. It's our feminine energy. Is persevering and rushing forward in communication with that big sword of truth. And like I said, this is new ideas too. So anything that's happening within us that's manifesting in our external reality, if we're fostering these new ideas, the masculine is it's all happening within us, right? It's allowing the feminine to nurture those ideas, and then the masculine's acting on it with that Mars energy, right? Moving forward, fire. In communication with that big ass sword of truth, bringing balance. So in a very tangible sense of the word, I see coming together of these feminine nurturing energies and a very communicative masculine energy. Could be an air sign, not necessarily. And again, this is all just, within us, us charging forward with those new ideas that we've fostered. Anything else for the masculine? Oof. Yeah, very slow moving night there. Kind of waiting. Interesting. There's 10 of Cups. This is a very slow moving, sometimes almost stalemate energy. So now we have the King kind of matching the Queen. The 2 to the 10 of Cups. It's very nice energy. And we did have that 8. So coming together, unification. Actually want to use this deck for more on the masculine, and then we'll look at the middle ground. Again, King of Pentacles. Wow, so our masculine is really utilizing the communication element. So this is going to come, you know, a lot of this masculine energy pushing forward is going to look like communication. Putting those thoughts into action by way of communication, but with this, I'm seeing this King of Pentacles coming through now, putting it into physical action. So manifesting the communication for collaboration, and then tangibly building it. Virgo and Gemini, seeing a lot of all 3 air signs here, which, you know, is collective, so of course. Very interesting. Hierophant and that Page of Cups could be an offer. This could also allude to the patriarchy. Our legacies, our foundations, right? A lot of that being rebuilt right now. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, focus on the masculine, please. Masculine energies. Yeah, there's that patriarchy. If you guys want to know more about this specifically, I would highly recommend checking out Water Baby on Tarot, or on YouTube, or her Patreon. She talks a lot about how all of these are this Cancer, Capricorn, node switch and eclipses have been breaking down the patriarchy, which we've seen playing out in the collective on a massive, massive, massive transformational scale. We'll be talking about that as well in the collaboration that I referenced earlier too, but she's also very good for breaking some of that stuff down. But this is the patriarchy, so this is a very collective. This is kind of, to me, talking about the masculine reforming some of his traditions and morals here in order, and like on a day-to-day level, or how this is playing out within oneself or our relationship with other people. That's really looking like a transformation of our values, our morals here. I can't remember which reading that came out in, but there was a reading that featured that quite heavily. I can't remember. I'll see if I can find it or remember and link it down below. But again, with these fostering these new ways of being, right? With the feminine and that Gemini and youthful, very youthful energy, right? Patriarchy is the opposite of that. It's very old standing. Think traditions, think institutions, religion, the Pope. He's literally freaking dressed up as the Pope, right? So with that coming out, I mean, you know, that's definitely moving towards, could be cutting away traditions, cutting away very old things here, or moving towards new contracts, building new institutions, right? With that youthful idea energy, right? New ways of being, right? Very interesting. That Page of Cups too, youthful, honest. Moving away from that lack energy. Anything else about the masculine, please? Yep. Page of Cups, right? And we did see that coming out underlying on the feminine side. So very much So in alignment with each other here, right when I said that, Gemini energy, and it is a card of coming into alignment with soul, your masculine and feminine, your purpose. Here are we breaking down those old foundations, right? Again, we're seeing this play out on a massive scale, especially with, Saturn is the planet of very old things, karma and all that kind of stuff. So, new, and honest, youthful. Anything else for the masculine? Yep. Three of Pentacles, that collaborative energy again. Here's transformation, speaking to that death of old ideas, old perceptions again. Breaking down those old foundations, those old towers, and then charging forward. And one thing here with this persevering energy, with this very old things sort of vibe going on here, it's really, I'm kind of reading this two ways. This is kind of hanging on and waiting to step up to the plate and put into action, within oneself to allow our masculine to take over and take control and take charge. But it's also talking about allowing those towers to fall. In tarot, we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is a foundation that we build up with others, right? It's our legacy, it's our home, our family, our business, and maybe stepping back down to the 9, we're mirroring here in our independence, right? And we're really healing all those old ways of being with the victim shit and the trickery and the rejection and the confusion and all that crap, right? And sometimes we have to step away or let those towers fall and stop persevering in order to let that happen and heal and really be alone for a while before we can come together and build a new one that works, right? So letting the tower fall if it needs to. That to me is also speaking of instinct, knowing when to act, right? Coming into alignment. And this is an interesting card too, because it's like, the masc and feminine are looking at each other like they're consorting there. Interesting. So let's look at the middle ground, the inner process that's happening, the shared space between. There's persevering again. That alignment space within oneself and coming together in alignment with others. Two of Wands, the Hermit, too many. Way too many. There's that persevering energy, which is the epitome of the Nine of Wands. So again, guys, being really honest, like these are really freaking honest cards about which foundations to persevere with and which ones to let fall. Or even knowing if we need to take a step back into the self-worth energy. It's the single self-worth card. In order to have that transformation, to have the 10 healthily, right? That discovery, that true abundance energy there. The Sun. So let's clarify the Two of Wands with the Hermit, please. Okay, that was better. So these are mirroring cards. Again, that perception. So repetitive messages now. I don't know that we're going to get much more that sheds much more light on this. The perception on that grief. Coming into mysticism. There's a lot of people awakening right now that's really aiding with this process, right? Especially with this old traditional energy. Some of these towers that are coming down because people's minds have been transformed, especially with this Hermit energy. It's a card of inner work, right? And there's so many people awakening right now that, with that mysticism element and that inner work and destiny, right? People are kind of trying to find that alignment again, and it can be very confusing, right? Despondence, and this is speaking to, again, this is the world. So again, collective reading, the masculine and feminine with that wisdom energy here that we had coming out under the masculine, right? Despondence, right? Not getting swallowed up by the polarity of Gemini, that Jekyll Hyde. And oh, that was another thing I was going to say. Part of why I didn't post the other reading is because, again, changing our perspective, right? One thing I was going to say, I was meditating on that reading and I was deciding if I was going to post it because it was very general and I was rushed and blah, blah, blah. Everything happens for a reason. But one thing a download I got was like, with this extreme polarity that we're kind of seeing right now, that's helping to break away all those very old things with that Saturn and Capricorn energy, and these eclipses are big energy change ups, right? With the patriarch and stuff. With Gemini energy and that polarity, it can be a very all or nothing sign, right? Which is what we're kind of being forced to have a look at right now. And it is changing our perspective, our perception here. But with that, there is a caution not to fall into despondence, right? Especially the more wisdom that you gain here. It's almost like, in this process, as he's looking into his lantern, he's gaining that wisdom. There's definitely a call not to become despondent, especially with that needing to take control and become a leader energy within oneself, right? Even if you're feminine and you've never done that before, but you have really great ideas, allow yourself to go there. It's the time to take risks, not to be despondent and get overwhelmed. And so, a lot